If you look at the requirements which have been put into the Joint Consultative Council Act, drafted by Keith Asopalli, who was a former deputy leader of the GSD, and on which Sir Peter Caruana had something to say in Parliament when I talked about creating the Council and talked about the Official Secrets Act, they are perhaps even less onerous than the obligations in respect of the oath which people take to become a part of the Privy Council in the United Kingdom, which Mr. Corbyn and Mr. McConnell, as a leader of the opposition and shadow chancellor, have just agreed. The Official Secrets Act is signed by every civil servant. In fact, I've signed the Official Secrets Act myself when I have done professional work for the government before. It's an archaic provision, just like the oath in the Privy Council. And yes, it does say that one of the potential punishments is imprisonment if you breach the Act. But look, this is Gibraltar in the 21st century. The Chief Minister of Gibraltar is not going to pursue the leader of the opposition through prosecution into prison. And I think Mr. Clinton does a huge disservice to the whole of Gibraltar and to the whole jurisdiction by suggesting that he cannot come to a meeting with the Chief Minister and the former Chief Minister, Sir Peter Caruana, and the current Deputy Chief Minister, Joseph Alci, etc., for fear of being imprisoned if he breaches the confidentiality that this circumstance imposes on us. I think there would be bigger political opprobrium against Mr. Clinton than there would be legal ramifications for a breach of the confidentiality and secrecy of the forum that is being set up.
You've highlighted what Sir Peter Caruana said in Parliament in favour of the Consultative Council, but was he not speaking in his capacity as an ex-Chief Minister who will be there to advise you, rather than a current leader of the opposition whose job it is to hold the government to account?
Well, Jeremy Corbyn is a leader of the opposition holding the government to account, and he is subjecting himself to a very similar oath in respect of very similar types of information that will be shared. So, frankly, I think that it is to completely misunderstand what it is that we're doing. Let's be very clear about what's happening here. When I explained what I wanted to do in Parliament, Peter Caruana was there as a backbencher, as a former leader of the GSD, and he said, I think this is a very good thing, you should change the name, not the Chief Minister's Consultative Council, it should be the Gibraltar Consultative Council, but didn't take any issue with the issue of the Official Secrets Act. What we see happen in all other jurisdictions is that there is a body where secret information can be shared, and that means that there is a provision for breach of secrecy. Now, look, the enforcement of that through penal means is not something that has been pursued anywhere in many years, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have the same structure.
When Sir Peter Caruana put together an advisory council on joint sovereignty, it didn't require the signing of the Official Secrets Act and focused only on one issue. By making this council so broad, isn't there a danger of gagging the opposition on a number of questions?
I think it is, with the very greatest respect, utter nonsense that I should try and gag the opposition. The more this opposition say, the better it is for the government, in my view, and that has been the case since the last general election. I want the opposition to put their arguments as loudly as possible, so I can put the counter-arguments from the point of view of the government to demonstrate why it is that the government makes the decisions that it makes, because we think we make the right decision, and I want people to understand that. What Sir Peter did was create an ad hoc council at the time of joint sovereignty. I don't think that's sufficient now. I think our community has matured. I think we're growing. We have to also grow institutionally. We need a council that is an institution. Sir Peter did not include Joe Bossano in the context, or Joseph Garcia in the context of that body. He said that he would consult them in the context of the Parliament. So I'm very happy if the GSD now want to take the attitude that they're just going to recreate the body that Sir Peter created by not including the opposition. Look, if I am ever leader of the opposition again in the future, I pledge myself to form part of this council, because I wouldn't feel gagged by it, I wouldn't feel intimidated by having to sign the Official Secrets Act. I'd feel proud to be called upon by a Chief Minister of Gibraltar to form part of this body.